अंदर बच्चे का बनाना ये काम अल्लाह है। अगर तकलीफ कभी बसर करने के दो रास्ते हैं। एक रास्ता अल्लाह,
there are two ways that one can live his life in this world. One is the life required by Allah, which is the path of Iman Amal, and the other is the path of one's own desires, selfish nature, following one's desires and one's caprice. This is a path of materialism and the path of desires, in which a person sacrifices his own sacrifices the requirements of Allah for his own desires. In other words, one is the straight path, the simple path, the path that takes one to success, the path that will bring peace and tranquility and harmony in this world, the path that will bring down benedictions and blessings and barakah from the heavens, the path that will invite the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the heavens, the path that will take out and bring out the barakah and the benedictions from the earth also, and the path that will create harmony and love between people, and the path that will bring ease in one's grave after one's death. And this is a path that will enter one eternally into the gardens of paradise. And this path is the path that is required by Allah, and in which one pleases Allah and fulfills the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, due to which Allah becomes pleased with one. And the other path, which is a path of desires, a person fulfills his own desires, in which a person is only occupied with gaining more and more material and wealth, and one is only occupied with fulfilling one's desires. This second path initially, primarily, seems very good and very satisfying, and there's great fun and great pleasures in it. But as a conclusion, when a person treads this path, then there is nothing but hardship and heartbreak and perplexities and anxieties and depression. And there is enmity between people, due to which one's life becomes strained and narrowed, and barakah and benedictions disappear, due to which everyone's life and everyone's wealth is in danger, whether they are living in the developed world or in the third world, whether one is wealthy or one is poor, everyone is in danger when people set about fulfilling their own desires.
पर चलता है और जहन में उसके सिर्फ ये होता है तो मेरे पास जितना मुल्क और माल होगा और चीजें होंगी इतनी मेरी जिंदगी बनेगी.
In this second path of desires, one sacrifices the commandments of Allah in order to fulfill his own desires, and his mentality, his mindset is that the more kingdom, more wealth I have, more territory I have, the more successful I will be.
ये रास्ता परेशानी वाला रास्ता और मौत के बाद उन परेशानियों को बढ़ा देने
This
वाला
path brings nothing but heartbreak in this world and hardships after death also.
कब्र की जिंदगी बहुत बिगड़ जाती है, परेशानी आती है.
The life in the grave will become very hard,
फिर इसके बाद क़यामत के दिन
and then on the day of judgment one will suffer great hardships and anxieties due to fulfilling one's desires in this world and not fulfilling the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the anxieties will continue to increase.
रास्ता इंसान को अल्लाह ताला के कैद खाने में, जेल खाने में दाखिल करता है.
And this path eventually leads one to Allah's jail, which is the fire of hell.
और वो कैद खाना और जेल खाना जो है वो जहन्नम का है. उसके अंदर राहत और आराम का कोई सामान नहीं.
This prison of Allah has no comforts in it, has no luxuries in it. It is a place of torture and torment and anxieties.
जहन्नम के अंदर तकलीफ, परेशानी और जिल्लत है.
In Jahannam there is only hardships and difficulty and suffering and humiliation.
जहन्नम के अंदर भूख है.
In Jahannam, in the hellfire, there is only hunger.
उसको दूर करने वाला खाना नहीं.
And in order to get rid of that hunger, there is no food.
और जन्नत के अंदर खाना है.
And in Jannah, in paradise, there is food, but there is no hunger to get rid of that.
उसके खत्म करने वाली भूख नहीं. वहाँ पर खाना खत्म नहीं होगा.
In Jannah, the food will never end, and in the hellfire, the hunger will never end.
दुनिया के अंदर खाना भी है और भूख भी है.
In the world, there is hunger and there is food. There are both the things. But in heaven, there will only be food, no hunger. In hell, there will only be hunger, no food.
पेट में भूख, घर पर जाकर देखती है खाना. भूख ने तो खाने को खत्म किया और खाने ने भूख को खत्म किया.
The hunger finished off the food, and the food finished off the hunger. This is what happens in the world.
तो दुनिया का निजाम है फना का.
In this world, things come to an end. Hunger was finished by the food, and the food was finished by the hunger. The hunger was alleviated by the food, and the food came to an end when there was hunger. In this world, everything comes to an end. But in the hereafter, there is no fana, there is no ending. In Jannah, there will be food which will never come to an end, and in the hellfire, there is hunger which will never come to an end.
लेकिन आखिरत का जो निजाम है वो है बका का. यानी बाकी रहने
In the world, there is fana, everything comes to an end. And in akhirat, there is baqa, everything remains.
का. वहाँ एक बात होगी, दो बातें नहीं. या राहत या तकलीफ.
In the hereafter, there will be one state, either one of comfort and success and ease, or a state of suffering and turmoil and torture. There's nothing in between.
दुनिया के अंदर दोनों बातें.
In the world, a person can have both things, a bit of ease and a bit of hardship, a bit of hunger, a bit of food.
तकलीफ भी है, भूख भी है, प्यास
But
भी
in the hereafter, there are extremes. There's either comfort or there's suffering. Nothing in between. In the world, there is thirst and there is drink. Thirst came and it finished off the water in the jugs.
पानी खत्म किया और मटकों के पानी ने प्यास को खत्म किया.
And the water of the jugs finished the thirst, quenched the thirst. The thirst quenched the thirst, finished the water, and the water quenched the thirst.
रात का अंधेरा
Both
आया,
things
दिन
come
का
to an
उजाला
end.
खत्म.
The night darkness came and finished off the light of the day, and the day light came and finished off the darkness of the night. So in this world, everything comes to an end. One thing finishes off the other. But in the akhirat, in the hereafter, this is not the case.
उजाला आया, रात का अंधेरा खत्म. गर्मी का मौसम आया, सर्दी खत्म।
Summer came,
सर्दी का मौसम आया, गर्मी
got rid
खत्म।
of the winter. Winter came, got rid of the heat.
तकलीफ आई तो राहत खत्म।
Hardships came, got rid of comfort. Comfort came, got rid of hardships in this world.
राहत आई तो तकलीफ खत्म। तो दुनिया में दोनों चीजें साथ चलेंगी।
So in this world you have
कितना
both the
भला
things.
आदमी हो, कितना ही बुरा आदमी हो,
Doesn't matter how good the person is or how bad the person is, he will suffer good and he will suffer bad in this world.
एक पर तकलीफ भी आती है,
On a bad person, hardships also come and ease also comes. On a good person, ease also comes, hardship also comes.
और हर एक पर राहत भी आती है।
Every person gets hardship,
कोई
every person
आदमी
gets
दुनिया में
comfort.
ऐसा नहीं हुआ
There has never been
जिसके लिए जिंदगी भर राहत ही रही।
a human in this world who has only experienced comfort and ease in this world. Hardships come on everyone and everyone receives some ease also.
कोई ऐसा भी नहीं हुआ कि जिस पर जिंदगी भर तकलीफ ही रही हो।
There has never been a person
हर एक पर राहत और तकलीफ
who
दोनों
has
चीजें
only had
आती हैं।
hardships in this world. There has never been a person who has only had ease in this
मौत के
world.
बाद फिर
But
एक
in the hereafter, there will only be one state, either one of comfort or in the gardens of paradise, or one of difficulty in the hellfire.
तो फिर वो तकलीफ बढ़ती रहेगी और अगर बगैर ईमान के दुनिया से
If a
गया
person leaves this world without iman and amal, then his hardships will start and they will continue to increase. His suffering will continue to increase day on day,
वो तकलीफ हमेशा के लिए रहेगी।
and that suffering
और
will
अगर
remain
मौत के
forever.
बाद राहत तकलीफ हो गई
And if a person lived a good life and he dies, and then his comforts and his ease start in the grave, then this will continue to increase forever and ever in the gardens of
फरिश्तों का
paradise.
इस्तकबाल होगा, खुशखबरियां
The
होंगी।
angels will greet him at the time
कब्र
of
के
death.
अंदर
The angels will give him good tidings at the time of death.
3 सवालों का जवाब
He will answer satisfactorily to the 3 questions in the grave,
आसानी से वो दे देगा और कब्र के अंदर जन्नत की खिड़की खोल
and then the window of Jannah of paradise will be open for him in the grave,
दी जाएगी, इसे लिटा दिया जाएगा
and he will be made to lie down,
और इसे कह दिया जाएगा
And
नम
will be said-
कदामतिल अरूस,
said to him, Nam ka naumatil arus, go to sleep like a newly wedded bride.
सो जा। दिन में 2 मरतबा जन्नत की खिड़की खोल
Twice in the day, the window of Jannah will be open for him in his grave.
कर जन्नत की खिड़की तो खुली है, लेकिन इसे जगा कर और 2 मरतबा
The window will always be open, but twice in the day he will be made to wake up and he will be shown his paradise through the window.
दिन में उसे दिखाया जाएगा कि ये तेरा ठिकाना
And he will be shown that this is your eternal abode.
अल्लाह का महबूब आदमी और अल्लाह की मर्जी पर चलने वाला
Because
आदमी
this was a person
यूं कहेगा कि ए
who tread the path of the requirements of Allah. He strove in the world to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
अल्लाह, कयामत की जल्दी से कायम कर दे।
And when he will be shown his paradise in the grave, he will say that, "Oh Allah, make Qiyamah, make the day of judgment come quickly.
रब्बे अकीम इस्साअ,
Rabbi aqim
ताकि
as-sa'a.
मैं इस जन्नत में दाखिल हो
Oh
जाऊं।
Allah, bring about the day of judgment quickly so that I may enter into this paradise quickly."
जब दिन आएगा तो इसका हिसाब किताब और कयामत का दिन इतना मुख्तसर होगा कि जैसे चंद रकात नमाज पढ़ने में वक्त गुजरता है।
And then when the day of judgment comes, his judgment will be as quick as it takes a person to perform 2 rakats of salat.
उतना वक्त गुजरा और उसके बाद इसे जन्नत के अंदर दाखिल कर
And then
दिया
he will
गया।
be entered into the
जन्नत
eternal
में दाखिल हुआ
gardens
तो
of
फिर
paradise.
वहाँ पर किसी किस्म की कोई तकलीफ
And once he
नहीं
enters
होगी।
into the gardens of paradise, there will be no suffering. In fact, his comforts and his ease and his rewards will continue increasing day on day.
बागात, नहरें,
There will be gardens,
मकानात,
rivers, palaces,
बीवियाँ,
wives,
बढ़िया कपड़े,
nice clothes,
घूमना, फिरना, खाना,
eating, drinking, sleeping,
पीना, अल्लाह ताला की ज़ियारत करना, अल्लाह
and seeing the blessed countenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
ताला का दीदार करना, अल्लाह ताला से हम कलामी का नसीब होना
to be able to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
और जन्नत न कभी खत्म हो न जन्नती खत्म हो।
Jannat will never come to an end, nor will the people of paradise ever come to an end. They will never die,
करोड़ साल के बाद भी
even after millions of years.
बिल्कुल आखिरी मंजिल है भाई। लेकिन ये सारा जो मैंने बताया
So paradise is the last station, the last destination.
इसके लिए
But
जो
this
अल्लाह
paradise is for those people who sacrifice their own desires in order to fulfill the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in order to please Allah subhanahu wa
मर्जी
ta'ala.
पर चले। अल्लाह की मर्जी पर चलने में एक मुजाहदा है।
In fulfilling the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a hardship, there is a difficulty, there is a mujahada, there is toil.
एक मुजाहदा है।
What is that
उस मुजाहदे के लिए आदमी
difficulty?
तैयार हो जाए।
That is that one's desires will be sacrificed. So one must get himself ready and prepare himself for this endeavor and for this hardship.
मर्जी पर 60-70 साल की उम्र है।
Because our life is very short, 60-70 years, one undergoes hardships in this world for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he will experience comforts and happiness and joviality and success forever and ever in the grave and in paradise.
15 साल तो तकरीबन गुजर गए।